Now, let me answer this your question. You see, the reason why you find me advocating a lot against this statement, God has rewarded you while you are still on earth, is because when a person begins to see the things in his life as reward, it opens up the door for the spirit of self to enter into that person's heart. And in turn, this will make that person begin to see whatever God has given them as my own. It is for my pleasure. It is for my enjoyment. It will now become about I, because you think you are rewarded. And that is why I tell you guys, self-value, that God does not reward anybody until that person is done with the work. Now, let's look through the scriptures. Which of the disciples did you ever hear talking about reward while they were doing their service? Which of them? In fact, the only time I know a disciple talked about reward was Paul. And Paul, in the book of 2 Timothy 4 verse 7, says, I have finished my work. I have kept my faith. I have won the race. Now awaiting me is a crown. That is the only time we find a disciple saying there is a reward to receive. But you don't receive reward until you are done with the work. And you're not done with the work. You receive a reward today and you fall tomorrow. You think God doesn't know what he's doing? You see, you asked and said, why is it that we have a lot of Christians that are rich and yet we have a lot of poor Christians in the church that are not helped? It is because of this statement. People now see their possessions as a reward for service. So everything they now get now feels like a reward, that God is rewarding them. So it is about them and their family. Why would they think about you and I? Why would they think about us? Many of us are still going to be making the mistake that Esther almost made. When it was time for God to liberate Israelites from the hands of their enemy, what happened? Mordecai told Esther that, man, we need your help. Rise up and defend us. Talk to the king. You know, now Esther is enjoying royalty. She's now a queen. So she has forgotten that she was once a captive. And she replied Mordecai that, I don't want to stress my husband. You know, these things takes time. There are protocols. I can't just see the king anyhow. And Mordecai was reading the letter and was saying, what is this woman talking about? Look at what Mordecai told her. You think your position is about you. You might be seen as a reward, that God has rewarded you because you are a virtuous woman. You think it's about you. Mordecai said, let me tell you something. When it is time for God to liberate Israel, he will raise somebody. He will find another way to do it and you will perish. And he ended by saying, you were made a queen for such a time as this. It was not a reward for you. It was a position. It was a resource that God has placed in your hands so that he can use it to liberate people. Just study everybody in the Bible that God supposedly blessed as a reward. Look at what happened to the reward that God gave to them. It was later used for something more bigger than them. Example, Joseph. Oh, Joseph became a prime minister. But look at how the story ended. Joseph said, I now understand that it is not about me. God was positioning me to liberate Israel from hunger and starvation. So it's not about us. If you really want to live a purpose-driven life, have this behind your head. Nothing God is ever going to give you on this earth, not health, not children, not husband, not wife, not money, not car, not position, not house, not power, not fame, not big ministry. Whatever God is going to give you, please see it as this. They are resources given to us. And when you understand that they are resources given to you, you will ask, why is it given to me then? And then you will find the reason. And then you become more effective in serving God.